Guys, my name is Cidiac and welcome back to another episode of Woodville here in City Skylines 2, where last episode we really did improve the traffic, probably improved it the most we have ever done in this series to this date. One of the things we did was set public transport to be completely free within the region, and we also implemented new stuff like this brand new road that exits to the highway for the downtown area of Redwood. Little kind of alleviation roads that kind of go around and connect up to industrial areas. Things have dramatically improved. Even stuff like little slips on the roundabouts to kind of increase the flow of traffic. Well, I think we're going to be okay for some time right now when it does come to traffic in general. And it's now time to start focusing on some of the major big issues around Woodville in general. Now, one of the things I want to tackle today is, I think it's the only thing that they're really complaining about, which is an unreliable internet service. And at the same time, guys, I completely didn't realize I've only got elementary school levels of education in the region. I have not a single high school, college, or even university, which we're going to slowly get some of those in as well. Not too many, because I don't want to make too many smarty pants right now, because they won't take the poorer jobs that we mainly have available. When it comes to the workplaces, you can see right now we have many of the jobs around the poorly educated to educated. So I don't want to create too many big brain nerds, you know what I mean? So welcome to another episode, guys. If you enjoyed this series so far, make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new around here so you get notified when more episodes do come out. But we seem to have a really big crash over here right now with the garbage truck hitting a few vehicles. That's not good. Well, anyway, boys, let's first start with looking at a little bit of our education before we do some of our internet services. Now, I'm going to provide a couple of high schools to give us some high school levels of education. I also want to take a look at an area to where we could maybe potentially build a university and maybe a college. I think these two might revolve around me building a brand new town in the region. We can create our very own college and university town. And that's where all the students are mainly going to live. So before we do that then, let's actually unlock what's remaining for the education levels. We'll go college, we'll do university, and I'll leave it as that for just a moment. Right, so colleges then, high schools we'll start with. We've got all the elementary schools here, then high schools start at this EE one here. We've got a southwest one, so the capacity changes up to 1,000. High school there. I do like the idea of the southwest one. We do have a nice little area here to work with. I got a high school there, which I think that's like the generic normal one anyway in the game. I think that's a normal one. Yeah, it's a smaller variant of it. We got the Japanese one, the Northeast American high school, the German one, the UK secondary school, which that actually might also be a good shout to get the UK version in. We've got the city variant, the southwest variant. Oh, that could be a really good building as well. Oh, I feel like we sport for choice right now with high schools. I like the idea of that, but I'll save that for somewhere else. The UK one could be a good shout for implementing it around here. So let me work with this area a bit more. So this road, right, this road here is inevitably going to end up going across. So if I do this road going across there, why can't I build a bridge? What's the issue with me building a bridge here? There is no issue if we anarchy it. Right, bam, there we go, there we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it a bit further down, and then we're going to choose to bend it. And then run that down, and then bend a bit more, and then it's going to end just there. So it ends as a nice little peninsula. We'll build a few roads coming off it, and it's going to feel like the area we have over here for Beechwood. That's what it's going to feel like. So I've just got to get these now both connected, and then we know what road we have available to work with. So if I then ran that straight, and the snap would be a 1, 1, 2. by a 111. That works for me. So we know that's where that perimeter road is going to run down. So for the school in question, it is a very interesting sized building, which we might be able to squeeze in. I might do a little bit of land reclamation if I'm able to throw it in. Oh, I actually don't know. Maybe this is not the right spot for it, thinking about it. The southwest one's a really, really big building. Maybe that's not the right spot for high school. But then again, we don't really have many spots. I'll have to kind of choose a different variation of it. I do like the UK version of it, though. Because I know that's going to be quite a nice little complex. It should work out to be quite a nice little complex, that. If I implemented it there, it gives me all that space there completely open, which I could turn into something. I'm not too sure. If I was to drop this here, right, just give me a moment, boys. There is extensions to it, but they're all to do with actually being on the building. So let me just now reclaim a little bit of land here. So we're going to level terrain, going to bring that out a bit, and then down. And then we'll do a little bit of softening right now. So reduce the brush size. Bring that slightly out from the bottom. And then kind of jag it in areas. Make it feel a little bit more of a natural... kind of a shoreline. So I'm not sure if that's the best positioning for it. I might actually quickly delete it again. So bulldoze that real quick. And then come off a road with it. So the road I'm going to come off by, I reckon we run on this going that way. So let me just put that there and let me then squeeze in. So I have to do some more land reclamation again, which is not a problem. All right, drop you in. And then one more time on the old terraining. All right, bring it a little bit further out. Make it go green. Soften from the bottom. We'll do a little bit of an indentation there. And that works out for us there. Right. Throw it in like that. I'm going to add the upgrades to it. So that ultimately gives us a 1,950 capacity, which is absolutely huge, might I add. Absolutely huge. I'm going to build my signature right now of a... Oh, wrong one. Of a perimeter road going around it. There we go. There we go. And I'll dot a few trees to make it all fit within the theme quite nice. So other roads we're going to have coming off it. We're going to bring a road coming directly off here. Which I'm going to run. And... to there, get rid of you, down, and then we're going to bring this into here, like that, and then we're going to use these little alley style roads to kind of connect us all up moving forward. So that will of course continue to run this way, and then this here would run across, and then can we get these to potentially meet up? So it'll be quite a short... Actually, no, I'm not going to, because I can actually make them run a little bit further down. So I'm going to pick a little spot here. So bring this out a bit more. Run that going down here. And then run you straight there. So delete you, delete you. So I'm going to get the main artery of this area in. Running up this way. I'm just playing around with a few designs first. I might actually delete that there and then rejig it. Maybe bring it into... So bring it into about there. And then we choose to bend. Now I know it looks a little bit off there and looks a little bit staggered. That's where we create these little cul-de-sac areas. For all of this section. And then make it integrated and feel like it's almost like back alley style kind of areas. I'm going to delete this bit and this bit. And then we're going to run it down like this. Stagger it slightly back. And I think we can then get rid of you. Run you up. And I'm going to create a small little neighborhooded area that we can work with. So it's going to look a little bit weird at the minute until I'm finished with this area. So just give me a moment. I bring you down to there. And then we'll come off just here. Come off just there. Stagger one there. One there. And then we get this very interesting designed neighborhood, which I think will work out pretty well. And I want to try and maximize it all moving down. So I bring you down there. I'm going to cut you across like that. This area here, I think will be okay. I'm just going to throw maybe a little strip just there. And then I want to access all of this area now as well. So I want it to be very similar to what we've done over here, which that's just mainly like a main road, but I'm going to switch it out to a little bit of a gravel road right now, as it becomes more of a kind of like beach vibed area. So if I do there to there, and then what we'll do here, we'll bend you round. And bend you round as well. So we were able to kind of squeeze in a couple of beach style buildings. Just like that. And then for this one, we'll come off there. Little bend like this. And a little one like that. So not really much going on that front, but it just ends it really nice, this area. So that's just one high school at the moment that we've implemented in, which now does allow me to squeeze in some housing. So I want it to be all low density residential. And let's go a little bit crazy with the zone in here. And in some areas, not too crazy. Not too crazy in some areas, because we need to make sure that we don't push it too far back. Oh, hello. Fill up you. All right, pause there to there. Fill up all of this. Do a little one just there, and I'll go to just there. So it fills in all those little gaps there. We'll paint bucket some of these ones. And then do all around here, which is okay. We'll try and squeeze in a little bit of a commercial strip in a minute as well. But also, be careful we don't run too far with it. And we'll bucket all of this in here. And I'll go to there as well. So we'll just do it to that point at the minute. There is a little bit of a gap here I can do. So I might actually manually place these in. And I think that's as far as I'm going to go there with that. And allow that to build up. And then we want some beachfront property stuff. So I'm going to quickly manually do all of this. There we go. So throw all this in. Go for some slightly bigger ones there. Oh, that should work out. All of you, all of you. Might as well get all of this in. Little one there, little one there. Just dropping a few down right now. This should look really good. So just to finalize it all off, I will have to add a bunch of tree stuff in. And that should work out pretty well. Right, we'll come back and do all the tree stuff once the buildings have pretty much built up. So that's going to add a load more people now moving in, which is great. It adds a nice little high school, like I said there, which gives me the capacity at the moment. We'll see how far it fills up. But now I kind of want to plan out a little bit of a college and university town area. And I like the idea of working with up here, because we've kind of like moved over slowly, but we kind of going in this direction. I want to take a look at this and maybe slowly start to finalize this area off. We have this little road that comes up and ends as a peninsula. So imagine all this here was just suburbs going up. And then we built a big kind of plant in the middle, which is pure education, college, university. But I want to find out first, though, what are the size of these buildings? So for a college, we start with colleges here, and it goes up. And then we've only got one type of university anyway, which is a really, really, really big building. So I could drop the university smack bang here, because there is a few buildings that you kind of technically add on to it. And then have this road going through as we build up a nice little town around it. So I'm going to pick this point here, unless I also pick this point here. Now, this point here for the university could be pretty good. Unless we go there. We could actually drop it there and have it come off this road. And maybe we centralize this as being like the center of the area, of this town that we're going to try and build. Okay. Okay. So I could implement it here. I could do it like... Right, this might be a bit of a trial and error right now. So if I just placed it here, what buildings do we have on it? So that's an additional building. That's on the thing. That's an additional building as well. Okay. So I might just actually just leave it like that. We might just leave it like that. So if I was to build my perimeter road first, because that's what I like to do in these situations. Right. Oh, that's a dirt road. There we go. Run this down. And down. And then we'll use a normal style road coming directly off there to here. And that begins the entry point to our university. Now, it will be on the slight outskirts of the town. But what we'll do is we'll build up a little area here. I might kind of make a road go this way. And then we'll kind of do something within this area. And then maybe slightly suburb it up a little bit. And then surround it by forestry, which could be super interesting. It just then means we're going to have to think about the logistics of building public transport over here. So although we don't have any idea of how we're going to do the transportation system, I think that'll be part of the challenge. Build it and then we'll figure it out. That kind of sounds quite interesting. Now, in terms of the university, I might just spend the money now on fully maxing it out because we've got the revenue to do it. Now, obviously, we've got this little additional park I can add on, and we've also got this library kind of building. So, rather than do that, let's just see how we can also integrate a college around here. Now, the normal college is a fairly decent-sized building itself anyway. Right. And if I was... because that's just the generic college, by the way. If I was to take this small alley-style road at the same time... Oh, actually, another idea. Now, I could put that in the center. Or do I do this building? Hold on, because I could do the college building adding on to the end. Right, I've got an idea. I've got an idea. So put you to there and make this go this way and this way. Put the college in the center. Right. And then what upgrades are this? That's on the building itself. Separate building. So this is where we now start to kind of build up a campus. Okay. So build the perimeter now going around. Right. And then we're going to try and incorporate this stuff around it. So I think having... I know the University Park is now a little bit further back. But if I had that behind the college, which now makes me feel like I need to move it down a little bit more. Right, this is just trial and error at this point. So bring you to there, to there. Delete you. Move you down now. Bam. Get the road squeezed in. Delete all this. Move you a bit closer. So I know it's part of that, but it's a way to kind of build this nice, you know, campused area. So then the additional thing from that then is the actual building there, to which I could add to here, but we also have a building here we can add on. So maybe I integrate then a smaller building, the smaller building here, which is the college library. So if I placed you there, for example, and I built the perimeter going around. I like doing these perimeter roads because it really emphasizes the campus kind of vibe. And then the big building here. Now, does that feel right to go there? It does. And I build the radius going around. Now it's feeling like a little bit of a campus area, isn't it? Now, there is a few other stuff that we can add on to it. Like, for example, we've got the technical university, we've got the medical university, and of course we have all the additional stuff that goes on top of this as well. But we'll need to actually physically plan it all out. Now, do I build the perimeter going around this as well? Which is interesting. And then over here, we can build all the other larger style buildings. And that becomes a really, really big campus area. Great views. It's a little bit out of the way, but that's the challenge of it. We'll have to, you know, utilize public transport to its maximum. Ooh, this could be interesting. This could add a new challenge to Woodville. I'm liking this already. I really am. So, I won't finalize it with all walkable areas, but I will get the utilities in to begin with. So, at least it's somewhat functional. So, upgrade to there, upgrade all the way down to here. That should now have electricity, right? It does. It just doesn't have sewage, which is fairly easy to get in. Right? Yes. So that's now functional to a certain degree. There is a lot more buildings I want to squeeze in, but that's what all this space over here is going to be for. And that ultimately creates the ultimate campus area. So other stuff I will implement in is walkways, more trees, park areas. I might maybe duplicate some of the same buildings again here and there. I could even put in some smaller colleges or high schools or whatever. I'm not too sure. I could also throw in, like, in the large park areas, some of this stuff. The soccer fields. So it feels like it's a part of the university. The university or the college has, you know, a football stadium or something like that. All this stuff can be implemented in, which is quite exciting. So I think what we need to do, plan out where the larger buildings are going to go. Also figure out what the mode of transportation is going to be for everyone over here. Now, we do have a vast train network, so that would also make sense. Now, we do have it elevated here. Now, what if we implemented, as it elevates, it also can do a turn? It means I could then implement another train station further up here, and it then leads up to this area. That could be one way to do it. Or I could also have a big bending turn this way that runs along and then over. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know just yet. But also, I've got the rail line running down here and through. Now, would we have something run down this way? If I had something running down this way, it would have to come up and over and then merge in at some point. So that adds a new challenge to it. It really does. I could 100% have boat access. I could do another harbour along here somewhere. We do have the road that leaves the outside of the region over here as well, but they'll probably most likely use that. So this really is going to add a challenge to it all, which is quite exciting. I'm up for this. I really am up for it. So without doing anything, we've got 213 people at the university, 122 at the college. We'll leave that for now, okay? We'll leave that for now. But that'll be part of the challenge, is to get everybody in that direction. I think trains will be the one. It's just figuring out the best way to go about doing it. So now I want to take a look at doing the unreliable internet service. And we got to get some of this stuff squeezed in. So I think we need... I don't think it's something else I've got to research, is it? Communications. Oh, no, it is. Bam. Bam. And I think we'll start with implementing a server farm within a large industrial area, which would be, for example, this one here. So if I was to throw you in, it'd be nice to kind of pull it around about here. So what I'll do is we'll border this off. Has that worked? No. No, it didn't work. So if I border that off there, like this, and then squeeze a server farm in just here. Is that too far over, we reckon? Yeah, that's too far over. So I'll pick this radius instead. There we go. Bring you down. Bring you across. So we've got the radius going around there. Okay. I'll connect this in by there first. And then we'll pick a spot here and connect it in there. We can build a few little factories dotted around here, but we get this nice planted area. So is there any little bit of terrain I need to now do to kind of just sort this out? There is like a little bit of elevation change. We'll soften it a bit more. There we go. That feels a bit more natural. And now we have a server farm in. So in terms of internet connectivity, this is what it gives us. It's not really a lot right now. But now we need to add in some of this stuff. So telecom towers. This stuff's really going to help us out. And I feel like industrial areas are the way to go forward. So if I dropped you there, you can see my radius already. So that's within the industrial area. We don't really have another industrial area over here, but I'll come back to that in a minute. We have one over here which we can implement, our telecom tower. And then over here, I think we might go for the smaller radio masts. Because we're kind of really out in the sticks at this point. So I could implement a radio mast just on the outskirts, which gives us actually a pretty decent radius, and then do something very similar over here as well. So I might choose just here. Now, without doing anything now, and just selecting to view it without holding anything down, that's the internet coverage we get. We're slightly slacking here, so I feel like we need something just here right now. So if I threw it in just there, which the forestry does not like that much, and then re-put it back in now, and then view it from the stats here, it's a bit better. I wouldn't say it's the best, but at least we've now got decent coverage, or adequate coverage for internet. So that should cheer everybody up, gives us a reliable internet service, and oh, we're looking like we got a little bit of traffic here as well. So this is everybody on the way to work now, isn't it? So we will do an asymmetrical road just here, which will allow vehicles to either go straight ahead in one lane and turn left in another. So once they figure it all out, that just gets rid of a huge backlog of vehicles. But we probably need to think about implementing a roundabout. Because they haven't got a chance right now to make that turn. But then again, it does eventually clear, so, you know, it gets through it. It's not a big issue at the moment. But we'll keep an eye on that. I expect this to be an issue as well, with all the cargo being able to drive down here. Right, interesting. Interesting, boys. I'm excited to work with this area. I really am. So in terms of education right now, it gives us capacities all over the place. But I gotta be a bit careful because at the end of the day, right, I don't want to create too many smarty pants because that will slightly go against us. So I've got new office building types we can implement as well because we get that university stuff in. And this is going to be a real interesting area. I think what we'll do is when we figure out how we're going to do public transport, I want to try and keep as many of these roads as they are. We'll build the town around the public transport. But I also feel like doing a nice little suburb area linking up this way could be pretty good. It could be pretty good. I could even extend Piper Mills slightly moving up. Or just kind of bridge the gap. Or do nothing in the middle and then just build it there. But this, what an area this is going to be. Huge campus area. I'm all for this. I am all for this. Right. We just got to figure out our priorities. And how it's all going to work. It could quite easily a train line come up that way. But also, maybe trying to implement something around here could also be the way to go forward as well. Oh, the possibilities are endless. They really are endless, boys. Because if you lived here, you can get on a train that brings you all the way down to Piper Mills, change train that then goes up to here. It could work out, but you got to be really, really careful. Also, if I'm building a town here, how big's it going to be? And would it need adequate highway systems? These are all the things that we got to think of. We've got highways dotted around right now. We might need to upgrade them, but it's all dependent on where the traffic is going to be flowing to. It might put even more pressures around here, but that's why we've got to make sure we get the public transport just right. Guys, we're going to end it here right now. We're going to end it here. This has given me a lot to think of right now and set us up quite nicely for future plans. What could this university town become? We're going to find out over the next coming episodes. If you did enjoy this episode, please smash the like button down below. And until next time I see you all soon, so good. Bye.